Training camp has been productive thus far, but does Howie Roseman have yet another trick up his sleeve? We'll talk about that. Also, one Eagles rookie made some interesting comments about his teammate, and happy Kelly Green Day. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. As always, hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe, and as always, ring that bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. Today, we are back. RB bringing you another one from the link. And oh, speaking of the link, how about the fact that it is Kelly Green Day? Right now, according to Fox Sports, this was just a little while ago, the most popular jersey in the NFL right now is the Kelly Green Jalen Hurts. I copped it this morning, man. I was a little upset at the fact that between the two different jerseys being offered, the higher priced one did not have full stitching. It was just partial stitching. Kind of upset about that. I went with the lower option, but nonetheless, the Kelly Green Hurts is on the way. This jersey is fire. And speaking of the link, the fans were lining up outside of the pro shop at 3:30 in the morning. You cannot tell me that this is the not the best fan base in the world. These are hardcore fans. It is July 31st. I bet these people went to work after. They went to the pro shop, 3:30 in the morning. They camped out. They were eating burgers. They were tailgating, whatever they were doing. They even had Kelly Green Jello shots. And here they are, camping out to get their jersey. Hardcore fan base, best in the world. You can't tell me anything else. And oh, by the way, here is a picture of some of the jerseys. The Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, the list goes on. A lot of these were selling out, especially the Jason Kelce one. People are now discussing, debating whether this should be the full-time jersey. What do you think about that? Let me know down below, and let me know if you got any of these jerseys, man. But wow, they do look just as expected. The hype is real. So give me your thoughts on that down below. Before we jump into all the news, though, man, shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using bonus code ATOZPA. And receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today. Use bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's jump into it, man. So there is a little rumor speculating around that the Eagles may not be done yet. Now, do they need to add anybody else right now? No, they don't. But you know that man, Howie Roseman, always is looking to add more reinforcements. And last year, he pulled off something similar to what is being rumored right now. According to sources, this is per ML Football, but really from Jacob Media, Derek Gunn, who has had inside sources with the team, he started to hint that the Eagles are potentially lurking around the safety market and could look to make a little upgrade, a little addition, right? You're going through training camp right now. You have Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, and, you know, Kayvon Wallace is even reportedly getting some first team reps. Maybe you could see him finally take a jump, finally live up to some of that hype from when he was drafted out of Clemson. But this report here says that they could look to make a move similar to when they acquired C.J. Gardner Johnson from the New Orleans Saints last year for a fourth. But here was the actual trade from last year. The Eagles got C.J. Gardner Johnson. They traded a fifth and a sixth, and they also acquired a seventh round pick back. When I look back at this trade, man, it's just one of those that just leaves you in shock and amazement. You know, as Howie Roseman has done with a lot of other trades the last year or two. How did the Eagles pull this off like this? Now, unfortunately, they were not able to re-sign C.J. Gardner Johnson. He went on with his way, and we know what happened there. But man, talk about a value signing. The guy was leading the league in interceptions until he got hurt, and he still ended up with 6 picks. He was transitioning corner to safety. He was a nickel. He's really a versatile weapon. And Howie Roseman essentially got him for change out of his pocket. That's what he did. And right now there are a few safeties around the league who are, you know, have been in some contract disputes. I would say you probably got to wait to see how it flows through camp. But right now, even a guy like Budda Baker, now I know he received a raise from the Cardinals and they're saying everything's fine, right? And I pulled up the article here so we can talk about what happened with that. It kind of went under the radar a little bit, but according to the reports from just a few days ago, Budda Baker ended up receiving a, quote, raise from the Arizona Cardinals. But is he truly happy? Because he says that even though he doesn't want to be paid like the highest safety in the league, he still wants to be, earning the compensation that he believes he deserves, based on his play. And it says Baker agreed to receive a $2.4 million signing bonus and incentives, along with a $300K signing bonus. Baker reportedly received a raise for next season as well. We don't really know the figures on that, but let's not forget it was just a few months ago when Budda Baker requested a trade, as it says here, back in April. And during a June 30th segment, this is the text that was received and relayed from Mike Garofalo. He said, quote, "He doesn't want to be the highest paid safety. He never said that. He just wants to be paid fairly for what he brings to the table. He told the team before the season he wanted to go play for a contender and that he did not want to be part of a rebuild." So, at the end of the day, the Cardinals are probably still not going anywhere. So even though he got a raise, he got paid, is he still bought in fully to the idea of a Jonathan Gannon-led team, who probably is not going to be really in high playoff contention? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe he's fine and he's all good back and ready to go, but definitely something to think about. And meanwhile, the Eagles believe they have some talent in the system, right? Keeley Ringo, according to John McMullen, is really making some strides here, and he looks like he could be one of those guys for the future. The Eagles think Keeley Ringo is going to be their heir apparent to Darius Slay or James Bradbury as a starting outside corner. There's been talks recently about him moving to safety, but could Keeley Ringo impress so much that maybe in a couple years he ends up becoming the guy? Could that be a possibility? Back to the safety talk, though, you look at some of these other guys around the league, who could be available? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. It's kind of hard to predict that right now. I think you go through camp, you see, what roles guys have and who's happy and who's not. I've heard a few names thrown out there, like an Eddie Jackson from the Bears. There's a free agent out there, John Johnson III, that I've heard. There's a few others out there. I wouldn't say there's a guy ready, hot on the stove to be traded today. But Howie Roseman is good at these things, right? Nobody really saw the CJ Gardner Johnson trade coming. He just kind of goes and dives into these weird situations and pulls them out of his hat. That's what Howie Roseman does. And not only does he trade for these guys, again, he trades for them and gives up nothing. I don't think the Eagles have to upgrade. I think they like what they see in Reed Blankenship. I think they picked up Terrell Edmonds for depth, and you never know with K'Wan Wallace. But at the end of the day, they're always looking to get better, right? This team has high expectations. And if Howie Roseman can find a guy out there who's disgruntled from whatever team it is, and maybe he offers a 5th or 6th round pick or a couple swaps or whatever, and he brings a guy in, even if he's just a diamond in the rough, I mean, that could pay dividends, even if they don't end up paying him after the year. The Eagles are trying to go all in. That is the mindset that Howie Roseman will continue to operate with. The last thing I want to talk about is Nolan Smith and what he had to say. I just continue to like this guy more and more. Every single clip or every single practice, whatever we hear, right? Obviously, he's shredding it on the field right now, and he could be used in a couple different looks on defense, and he's really making his name felt. But these are the kinds of things right here that I really, really respect. We've heard Nakobe Dean's name a couple times, really not too much so far, but Sean Desai giving him a lot of power, letting him call plays. And here's what his former teammate from Georgia as well had to say about, whether he's ready to step in or not and be that guy.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, man. My dog been ready. He been doing this since day one. I ain't worrying about that. I'm ready to follow him. People talking about he been the signal caller at Georgia for 3 years in a row, and I know how hard Coach Smart is on him, and I know what he expect from himself. Certain people hold themselves to a high standard, man, and he's an engineering major. So if you think his brain is worried about something like this, it ain't. And so I just say, man, when you a high standard person and hold yourself to a high standard, people will follow behind you every day, and that's.
I love this guy's mentality, man, and this is the second favorite thing that he has said that I really enjoy. But the first thing is what he said the other day when he said, "I'm ready to go out here and hit mother bleepers," right? Tomorrow is reportedly the first padded practice, but this guy wants it, man. And I like how he talks about his teammates, right? This is a rookie. This isn't a guy who's been here for 7 years. Yes, he's won at Georgia, and, he knows some of these other guys here, and that's his boy. But, at the end of the day, I saw it on draft night, man, how excited, how pumped he was. Even Nakobe Dean was there, right? And he's there backing up his boy, his teammate, saying, you know, he's going to lead. I'm ready to follow. I'm ready to go into war, into the fire for this guy, for this team. And man, I hope it's true. I hope Nakobe Dean's ready to step up. There's been talks about the Eagles linebacker core. I've said that's a positional group that Howie could definitely look to improve even before the season begins, right? Nick Morrow, Nakobe Dean seem to be getting the main snaps right now, but you know, Christian Ellis is there, and there's a few other wild cards as well. At the end of the day, man, I am pumped for this Eagles team. I'm pumped to see what the practice looks like tomorrow. And at the end of the day, man, good vibes all around with this team. Could Howie Roseman end up pulling off yet another sneaky trade? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.